Welcome to a brand new and original podcast with me, Aoife Birmingham, and my co-host April Drew. We are going to take you on a weekly journey through our personal and professional travelling history with some travel tips, hacks and crack along the way. So welcome to 2 Gas Tickets to Anywhere.
So welcome back to episode 6 of 2 Gas Tickets to Anywhere. We are wrapping up season 1 and Aoife, what fun this season has been.
It's been amazing.
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you. I'm already excited for season 2. But it has been a great little journey. We've had 6 fabulous episodes. It's been great just having the crack with you and the banter and even off camera, like, you know, talking about it and planning our episodes.
It's been great fun.
I love it.
And I guess we wouldn't be here, to be fair, without our listeners. I mean, we have been blown away by all of you who've downloaded, subscribed to the podcast and shared it with your friends. So please continue to do that. We really, really, really appreciate your support. And a massive shout out to the team here in the background, our producer, Rebecca, our lovely sound and video engineer Terry, and Colm and Justin and all the team. It takes a lot of people, a lot of equipment and a lot of energy to get these podcasts
a lot of energy,
done.
yeah.
So when you are listening to, everyone's podcast, do understand there's a lot of work that goes in behind the background, but it's great crack.
It is great crack. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for seasons to come.
Yeah,
very
me too.
excited.
We'll be doing this till we're 63.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
We'll be planning our 60th for an episode.
Exactly, yeah. So episode 6, I think we kind of went back and forth on this, and I think we came up with a good show. I think we're going to give people, and it's all about the tips, I suppose, and tricks we've learned that we can impart now on to our followers. Various listeners. Fucking get mixed up with the algorithm. Listeners, exactly.
You're on the pod now.
So do you want to kick off with maybe a tip?
So this is just like an idea of some of our tips that we use or we bring with us on holidays, or what we use for planning our trips. We will talk, as we said, about budgets in a second one, but this one is going to be just little nuggets of information. Hang on a sec.
Get the notebook out there.
It's not in the notebook.
You have it in the phone.
Notebooks. Sorry about this, guys.
She literally has
I'm
two
very,
notebooks.
Okay.
A binder and the phone.
Right. My number one tip now, 100% is air tags in your bags, guys. Put them in every bag. And it doesn't have to, you can get tiles. They don't have to be as expensive as like an air tag, like an Apple air tag. There's lots of different versions. You can get cheaper versions on Amazon and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
Tile is one of them. Anyhow, get something that's a GPS that's going to track your baggage, because if you lose your bag in an airport nowadays, if you don't know where it is, it's going to take you days to get it back. So put one in your bag, put one in your check-in luggage, your carry-on luggage, all of them. I have about 4 or 5 air tags, and I have them named. You can name them. So I'll have it named like the boogie bag, Ava's backpack, the big pink suitcase, my carry-on, my pink carry-on luggage. I have it named per bag.
Okay.
And then as soon as I'm on that plane, I'm like, where's the bag? Are they all on the plane? Are they all on the plane?
Oh, very good. So you can even check when you're on the plane.
You can. Now, I was on a
underneath
flight to Croatia one year, and one of the bag tags didn't triangulate on time, and we were about to take off, and I was like to the air hostess, I was like, she's like, what's wrong? I was like, my bag isn't on the plane. It's in Terminal 1.
Oh, no, you
She's like,
oh, Aoife.
I was like, can we just wait for it? She's like, no, we cannot. But I was like, it's not on the plane. I was like absolutely panicking because we had a 5-hour drive.
Oh, sugar.
So I was like, I'm never going to get my luggage. Like, it was my luggage that was missing. It wasn't anybody else. It wasn't Bobby's.
Yeah.
But anyway, it hadn't triangulated. By the time I landed, it was on the plane.
It was on the plane.
So don't panic.
That's really good.
Don't panic.
I've heard of people, and it's something I need to do, especially with smallies, is air tagging the children.
So I have little watch straps
Oh, of course you do.
that you can put the air tag in.
So good. Yeah. Okay.
So that's.
So
but I actually.
So would you use the same air tags that you use for the bags? You just take them out of the bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then you could just rename it Ava.
Oh,
or Aoife
brilliant.
or Kyla. I put an air tag on myself.
yeah. Well, that's really good because.
So you can do that. I remember saying that to somebody before, and they're like, "Oh my god, imagine if you put air tags on your kids." And I was like,
Yeah. Did you tell them?
I mean, if we're on a city break and my child goes off,
Yeah. Listen,
the,
theme
the,
parks.
the air tag is going to be the one that says it. Now, they actually have these watches now, the 2 older kids, IMU watches.
GPS watches.
So that's a GPS, so that's fine,
great,
right?
yeah.
So they have that. But air tags is my number one.
Okay,
I absolutely love the air tags.
Great
And
tip.
the other thing about the air tags is Ava, when we were away in Lapland there, we'd walked past the gate, like the passport control. Literally just got passport control in Helsinki. And Bobby goes, Ava, where's your bag? She left it in the toilets.
Oh, sugar.
So I had an air tag on it, and I knew it was exactly in the toilet.
wow.
So there was actually a girl the other side, and she went and got the
Oh,
bag for us.
fair
We were so
play.
lucky.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another great tip there. That's why I say
good.
air tags.
Okay, yeah. I do know that when we were in Orlando last year, the year before, Riley did go missing in in Discovery Cove for about 20 minutes. Now, of course, he was only like, if you had the watch, it'd have been great because he was only in little shorts, but he went one way and John went the other, and there was absolute panic where he went. So I do think bags are great. Children are even better. So that's good about the watches. I must look into
you
that
can
one.
call them, you see, on the watch. So you don't
They're
even
old
just have to
enough,
track them.
It's perfect.
You can call them.
Yeah, that's
so,
really good.
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you 2 websites that I use religiously when planning trips. Actually, sorry, one is when planning and one is the other, but I'll explain that in a second. And I've talked about this several times on my Instagram, but the website airhint.com, write it down, people, put it in your phone, airhint.com. You can pop in your flight destination and your dates, and the app, the website will, and I think it's an app as well actually, will tell you whether you should book now or you should hold off, and it will give you a percentage of the likelihood of the flight dropping or not. So I use it religiously, and it has never let me down yet.
You've gotten me onto that tip.
Are you using it
So
as
I
well?
used it for Lapland, and I have it now because I still haven't booked my flights for Albania or Corfu because I have an air hint on and it says wait for the price.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the price to drop, but I get like emailed every day saying your flight is maintained or
yeah.
So thanks for that tip because it is a great one.
And I don't even know where I heard about it, but it's one that I use religiously, and I have to say it really does work. Now, I'm not saying that there's going to be times where, it's not right or the airlines change their pricing structure or something like that, but it is a great way to historically see whether flights, will drop or not. So that's really good. And then this is a fantastic app. It's called Time Shifter. And if you are going on a long haul holiday, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, America, wherever, download this app, Time Shifter. It is going to prevent jet lag. I do remember the first trip I took to the state, well, not the first, a couple of years ago, a big long haul, I went on to Texas. I downloaded the app, and when I came home, I had no jet lag. Like, it was unbelievable because it tells you when to go to bed, like 2 or 3 nights before you leave.
Yeah.
When to drink caffeine. It was like, okay, you have caffeine between this hour and this hour.
So, sorry, this is another tip that I actually learned from you.
Oh.
And I used it on our
You're
Chicago
welcome.
trip. So I'm getting all the travel tips from April. She's great for them. But you got me on the time shifter one going to Chicago. And there was 3 days where I couldn't drink any caffeine before we went.
Yes,
and I was going around the house. Bobby thought I was absolutely mental. I was going around the house with sunglasses on because it said diminish your light.
Dim the lights.
It tells you to dim the lights or try and have limited sunlight.
Yes.
So I was going around to the house like, it was June as well.
You took it far too seriously.
I did take it very seriously. But I didn't have jet lag.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's hard coming.
So it's
I do
good.
think like when you're abroad like that and there is that 6, 7, 8 hour time difference, very hard to readjust. But I have to say this made it a lot easier. Now, did I follow to the letter of the law? As I said in the last episode or the episode before that, when I was on a plane and this lovely lady started talking to me for hours, I was, time shifter said, sleep. Why are you talking to this woman? I couldn't sleep. But actually it helped tremendously. So I would highly advise Time Shifter.
Okay, good.
What's your
That's
next
two
tip?
good ones then. So my next one is I actually brought props with me.
Oh.
And I don't even, it probably won't be in a clip, but anyway, I'm going to hide my PPS number there. It's the EHIC card or your E111 card. This is the holy grail if you're traveling within the EU. You definitely need to bring it with you. I have one for all of our kids. I have it in my calendar when they're going to run out of date.
Will you explain what it is?
So it's the European health insurance card. So if you get sick abroad, even regardless as if you have travel insurance, which you all should have anyway, it's peace of mind. You are entitled as an EU citizen to get free healthcare abroad when you have that card. So
In Europe.
In the EU.
Yeah.
So the Brits can't use it anymore, unfortunately. They don't have them. But for the rest of us that are in the EU, we are entitled to free healthcare in another country when we travel. So a lot of the times we'll have health insurance and it varies from country to country or city to city. But you could go in and say, I'm sick, I've got health insurance, travel insurance. They don't want to know it. They want to see the EHIC card.
Yeah,
It's not going to work. The travel insurance will work when you want to claim back at home. But to get the free
while you're there, you don't
while
have to
you're
pay
there,
upfront.
you have to, and you just need immediate care because you've a broken leg or something like that, whatever. You need to have your EHIC. The travel insurance where that kicks in is more when you're coming, if you've had expenses incurred, or like if you're in America.
Yes,
You need to,
yes.
They're not going to take that. Sorry. But definitely, please make sure you get your EHIC or E11 card.
Do you know how
E111.
often you have to renew that?
I think it's every 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, my husband does
So
it.
it's every 2 years.
Every
But
2 years.
so say you're going away next week and you're listening to this episode and you're like, oh my God, it's not going to be sent out to me in time. Now, you do have to actually go in person to your local health centre. If you just Google E111 card local to me, you have to make an appointment, you have to go in and get it. But if you are renewing it and you you're like, I'm not going to have the new card on time, you can renew it online and they'll send it out to you in the post. But you can print off a piece of paper in the meantime that you can use
great.
as a backup while you're there.
Fantastic.
So that's a really, like, health insurance and travel insurance when you're abroad getting sick and all that. I think it's really super important. My other tip, just talking about health insurance as well, or sick when you're away, wherever you're going, what I always do is I look up the closest hospital or medical center to me and I put it in my Google Maps, because I just think it's really important. Like, it's just,
peace of
God
mind.
forbid, and then we've never had to.
Yeah.
But just for peace of mind, if there's a panic situation where you need to go to a hospital or an emergency room or a doctor,
that's a great tip.
You don't want to be in a panic looking for it. It's in your Google Maps and go. And it's the closest one to you. And you'll know then in your head, it's 20 minutes away, 10 minutes away, it's 45 minutes away.
Okay, good.
It's just all peace of mind.
Yeah, that is a really good tip. And staying on health insurance, we know the importance of health insurance, but one really, really good tip is don't leave your sorry, not health insurance. I'm going to jump to travel insurance. Yeah. So hopefully we all have health insurance, and health insurance does kick in, thankfully, and I had discussed this in episode 1 where it kicked in for John's situation when we were in Orlando, but travel insurance is so essential. And I have so many followers who still don't have travel insurance because I'm only going to the UK. What do I need that for? Listen, lads, get your travel insurance, a chill insurance,
60
multi-trip.
euro for the year for an annual family pass, an annual family one. 60 euro, peace of mind. It's going to save you
penny.
So much money in the long run.
Absolutely. And you know what's really important? Get it when you book your trip, because a lot of people don't get it. Like, we don't book the kennels until the week before. We don't book the car parking. You need to book your travel insurance the day you book your holiday, because 3 months down the line, something might happen. You might have to cancel your trip. But guess what? You don't have travel insurance.
Yes.
So you won't be refunded. So you need to get your travel insurance. Ideally, if you travel a lot,
buy an annual
get
one.
an annual one. Exactly.
It's it's only a few quid more expensive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it is. No, it is very good. And speaking of renewals, and you talked there about renewing the E111 card, make sure to check your passports regularly. Especially someone like me who has 6 kids. They all have different dates that they expire. So make sure once a year you put a note in your phone to check the validity of the passport. And do remember, folks, if you're traveling to the States, and I don't know what it's like for Australia and other places, Europe is fine, but if you're traveling to the States, you need a 6 months on the day you return. So it is important to make sure.
So if you're traveling in December and your passport is running out 6 months after that December, you need to have a new passport, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think things have gotten definitely better, and they are definitely quicker in the passport office now. Fair play to them. I know there was a lot of backlog there after COVID, but it's still not ideal. So get on that as soon as you can. Don't leave it to the last minute. Some people do. Some people forget, and it's just heartbreaking. And speaking of that, you used to be able to fly to the UK with Aer Lingus before on just an ID card, a driving license. There's a new rule now coming in from February the 25th, pretty soon, that you have to have a passport or a passport card with you while traveling. So they will not be accepting driving licenses or ID cards in the future. So they're tightening up security, and Ryanair always required a passport, but Aer Lingus didn't to the UK. But now things are getting a little stricter. So honestly, lads, no matter where you're going to need a passport.
Another tip I have about the passport is, you're talking about the dates and putting a reminder in. I put in a reminder on, like, say 4 months before. Like, it's in my calendar, basically. So Sennons is up in 2028, March 28. I have a reminder to come November 2027 to get Sennon a new passport. So I just think it's a good idea to have a reminder on your phone that'll set off. Like, it'll come up on your notifications.
It's a good idea, because we've so many different passports.
Yeah,
really good. Anything else you want to share?
The other one I have is this is just like a little prop. Is to bring, and I don't know if this is going to be a clip or not, but anyhow, I always bring an extension lead on holidays with me.
Oh, good idea.
Because there's so many things to be charged.
Yes.
The phones need to be charged, the device needs to be charged, the hairdryer needs to be plugged in, or the hair straightener, and I always attach the end of it with one of these adapter plugs. So it's a multi-adapter. So it's one that you can use in Australia, America, the UK, and Europe. So and it's got one of our plugs, and then you can put any plug you want into that.
Excellent.
And
so
then,
you keep that
that's
at
my
end
tip
of it.
is bring an extension lead.
Yes, no matter where you're going.
No matter where you're going. And I know it's like a bit of a silly tip, but it's actually a really good, beneficial
practical
one. Like it is. You'll use it, like,
Yeah, no, really, really practical. Another thing, obviously, we all have We all know how expensive it is to travel during the midterm, whether you have kids or not. It's expensive. Midterms, summer holidays, Christmas, that sort of thing. And I know a lot of people don't like taking the kids out of school or having them miss any days of school. But if you can and are willing to miss a few days, then if you travel maybe 2 to 3 days before the midterm starts, or you fly home 2 to 3 days after the midterm finishes, you are guaranteed to get a better rate. In some cases, half price. As you know, it becomes astronomical come Saturday, Sunday of any midterm or summer holidays or anything like that. So definitely around Easter, that sort of thing, May, the midterm in May, February, October, Halloween. If you fly the Wednesday or Thursday beforehand or come back in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afterwards, you're definitely going to get a better deal. And actually the cheapest flights tend to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yes.
So when you are booking, it is a good idea to look at Tuesdays and Wednesdays as your day to fly out or fly back home. And I did see that the highest time to book, whether it's flights or hotels, is between 9 and 10 a.m. in the morning. I guess a lot of people get up, they get into work, and they're like, God, I better book that flight now this morning. Or
I want to go slow this morning. I don't want to do work just yet. I want to book a holiday so I can get through the day.
Exactly. And we've all done it. Not on work time, of course, but we've all done it. But it is definitely, absolutely a time to avoid. So ideally, actually the cheapest time apparently is between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But who the hell is going to set their timer to get up? Maybe
I
the
would.
savvy traveller. You absolutely would. My sleep is too precious to me.
I'm up at 5.
But between 8 and 10 p.m. is a decent enough time as well.
Yeah, okay.
The algorithm, all of that, the prices
you know
are
all
kind of
this, yeah.
skyrocket. It's just from, listening to people and all of that kind of
Well,
stuff.
I did see that this year the price of holidays has gone up in the
Increased
last couple of years.
significantly,
But
yeah.
they were saying, if you book your holiday from a Wednesday to a Wednesday, if you have to go in July and August and you're a teacher, you're better off booking from a Wednesday to a Wednesday
get better
because
bang for
you're
your buck.
definitely going to get a better price.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I think psychologically we just think a week, especially if you're
Yeah,
taking
you have
time
to go
off
like
work.
Friday or Saturday and then you're
exactly.
back,
So,
whatever. But
yeah.
if you're a teacher and the
blind demand
the
and all
summer
that.
off and you're only able to take your holidays at a certain time, book a Wednesday to a Wednesday.
Love it. And another one I have, we're all familiar with Airbnb. You know, Airbnb is a gift. It's fantastic. I haven't used it too much, but there's probably loads of websites out there, but there's another really good website that I've used. And I have to say the quality and the standard of the accommodations is slightly higher than Airbnb. I don't know why. Maybe they vet the people putting their houses up, but it's called Vrbo, VRBO.
Oh, yes, you were telling me about this earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, Verbo, I've never heard of it, but VRBO. Yeah, I do know it.
VRB.
Yes,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking VE. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
I know.
Yeah. So I know it. Yes.
So that's it's just another one to check out.
Did you find like a
Airbnb.
unique kind of
Yeah,
stay on that?
they have a little bit more of that and a little bit more, bigger size houses.
Okay.
And we actually had a lovely house. We didn't end up going in the end over something or other a couple of years ago. But we had this gorgeous, unique stay in Wexford booked for August. We had a week booked. It was a big house. It was a big gang of us going. And it was near the water. Like it was just beautiful. I found nothing like that on Airbnb, but I have to say Vrbo. Now the prices can be a little bit higher as well. So, you have to look at that. But just something to check out when you're looking at Airbnb. Try Vrbo as well and see if anything tickles your fancy.
Nice tip. My other one would be Skyscanner, right? A lot of us use Skyscanner to look for our flights. I definitely think if you book on Skyscanner and you get a different price, so you see the airline price coming up, you'll often see a cheaper price with some company called eDreams or something
Yes,
like that.
eDreams and all of those,
And it might be 40 quid or 50 quid cheaper.
Yeah. Don't
Book-
fall for it.
Don't fall for it. Book direct with the airline always.
Always.
Because if anything goes wrong, your flight gets cancelled.
Third party.
It's a third party provider of the flight. You have no comeback. As in, like, once you've booked directly with the airline, there's so many rules that are in your favor if anything goes wrong and you have to claim back from the airline. It's harder to claim back through the third party provider.
Excellent.
So always book Skyscanner
Yeah.
direct with the airline.
Yeah. Great tip, Aoife. And I have to say, these are fantastic tips. And I think anyone listening will agree with that. But most of the travel stress doesn't actually happen on the holidays. It happens at the airport and on day one. And do you ever find when you arrive, and I always say this to people, day one, you arrive, things are manic, you're all cranky, jet lag, whatever, everyone is tired and you don't know the place, you're trying to figure everything out. And I often have people say to me, oh, I really regret it. You know, day one was like I was going to turn home. And it's happened to me. I do think it takes 24 hours to settle into somewhere. Do not let that turn you off. Yeah. Settle into your holiday. Do know that day one is going to be tough no matter where you go. Even if you're only flying across to Spain, day one, because people are tired, you're up early for a flight, it's hot. You've come from 12 degrees in Ireland to 35 degrees in Spain. Just give yourself a break on day one. Accept that it's going to be tough, and then just enjoy the rest of your holiday. Exactly. And you will, and you'll forget about day one. But it's, again, most of the stress on holidays happens either at the airport or the very first day you arrive. After that, there's always going to be bits and pieces, but after that, you do settle in and it gets a little...
I just have one really quick last one to squeeze in.
Yeah,
Remember
I
were talking about
more. Yeah, go on.
But, download the offline maps on Google Maps. Yeah. Because say you're going to Paris for the weekend and you're going to use your Google Maps just to get here, there and everywhere, different restaurants, or go to see different places. It won't use your roaming or your data. If you download the map offline before you go, you can use the map no matter where or when, or even if you're in America and you don't have data packages. Download the map to wherever you're going, just in your Google Maps, and then you can use it data free. It'll work.
So it'll still give you
directions.
It'll
still give you directions, even if you're not connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
And so that's my last tip.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, okay. Well, I had a few more. Sorry, I was just spinning here. But look, one or two other quick things. I think if you're traveling, you know, us cultures that have to come to Dublin for flights, sometimes we very early morning flights, and sometimes we do stay at airports just to make the morning a little bit easier. But there is a few hotels at Dublin Airport that do the park, stay and fly, and actually it can be cheaper to book your hotel and for them to keep your car than actually booking it in to the car park for 2 weeks. So definitely look at those options. You're getting your night stay and then you're getting your car park potentially for 150, 160, 200 euros. If you're to park in Dublin Airport for the same amount of time, you could be talking about 260 to 300. Of course, you've got your cheaper car parks as well, but at least you're getting your overnight stay as well for a little bit extra, and you're not as fecked and as argumentative and tired getting on that plane the next morning. And also,
and they bring you by shuttle then, don't they?
Yes, there's a shuttle. Yeah, I know. Now as a dub, you never had to do this.
I've never had to, but I see the shuttles.
Yeah, so
exactly. I live near those hotels.
There's shuttles that go every 20 minutes, and it just makes for an easier, an easier experience overall.
Yeah, that's a great tip for the cultures buy.
Yeah, for us cultures, yeah. And then another one that I thought was really good, and I'll finish off on this, is you can pre-book your groceries in a lot of countries now. So again, day one is tough, as I said, you're arriving in late. But with Uber Eats and Deliveroo, you can actually pre-book. You can do a food shop, and it's great for people with smallies. If you need nappies or wipes or that sort of thing, they can be there waiting for you. I know Tesco do it, the Mercadona, the Carrefours. So look that up.
We do. If we're going down the country, like to the house things that we've done, we'll always do
in
a
Ireland.
Tesco shop.
Yeah, great
and
idea.
Get it delivered.
Yeah,
to when we arrive, like
okay, I've not done that, but that's a good idea.
No, it's great. In Ireland, you can do it too.
Yeah,
do your Tesco online.
Well, that's a good idea,
or
definitely abroad as well. It's a handy one. Yeah. So that's it. Look, small tips, guys, but to help make your holiday a better experience. I hope that you got something from it, and I think we are going to finish off this segment with a Kesh from our producer.
My mind is blown. I have so many notes. I'm like, I didn't know that thing, that stuff. So, and you know what I've just done? I mean, I was obviously listening to you and focused, but I just did my chill insurance for the year.
Stop.
For the family. Ski included, obviously I'm heading away and we're going worldwide because we're going to South Africa. And for the four of us, it was 72 quid.
For the year.
For the year.
It's brilliant. Worldwide.
Chill
Skiing
insurance,
included.
if you want to sponsor this podcast, we love
chill.
you. So thank you for the tips, because all of them were brilliant and beneficial.
Brilliant.
We
we're
love
finishing
chill.
off this. We love chill. We're finishing off this season and this episode with kind of a personal question.
Oh.
Which I think you'll like. I hope you like. You guys were in New York at similar times. Paths didn't really cross.
Never
No,
across.
they
Not
never
that we
cross.
know of.
Not that we know of.
But you're soulmates in so many ways, right? From the New York days. How on earth did you meet these men? These men in your lives that have given you the families and the
Irish
travels
men.
and so how did you meet them and how did that all come about?
How did we meet Irish men in New York and then end up back in Ireland?
Go on, you tell me about Bobby and you first.
Okay. Typical Irish story. Okay, 2 minutes. All right. Okay. Well, this takes about 20 minutes. So sorry, I can't tell
this
the story.
is going to be a long one.
Okay. So literally, I was in Ireland for 2 weeks at Christmas. Came home absolutely broke, no money, spent all my money, and there was a bar down the road from us called the Irish Rover, which I'd never been to because I'm like, I don't come to New York and go to Irish bars. But I was broke, and my cousin was like, we're all going out for a few drinks tonight. We're going down the Irish Rover. It's 3 drinks. Your third drink is free. I was like, I've just about money for 2 drinks, and then the third will be free. Grand. So off we go to the Irish Rover. It's minus 16 degrees outside. There's ice and snow everywhere. And in the bar having a drink. And back then I was a social smoker. Okay, don't kill me. But I was in my 20s, and I was outside having one, and there was a fella I knew from Kilkenny outside called Ned, chatting away to Ned, and then he was chatting to another fella that he knew. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, you know, that he's talking to. He's got gorgeous eyes, really like piercing green eyes. I was like, he is so Irish, like, you know, he's definitely from Ireland. So I was like, oh, where are you from? And he's like, Tala. And I was like, oh, I'm from Portmarnock. And that was it. Finished our thing. We went back in. So just chit chat. And then I literally went into my friends and I said, I just met the man I'm going to marry out on the steps of the bar, right?
Stop it. Yeah.
So weird, but that is the truth, okay?
Yeah, I love it.
And then couldn't find him for the rest of the night, went our separate ways. And all I knew was I met a guy from Tala who had piercing green eyes, and sure, look, I'll never bump into him again.
And did you even know his name?
No, didn't know his name.
Stop, yeah.
So 2 weeks later, my mom was over. This was in Queens, by the way.
Okay.
2 weeks later, I'm in the Upper East Side with my mom in a bar having a couple of drinks.
No.
Who walked? 8 million people in the city.
Oh my gosh.
Who walks into the bar?
Aoife, I love this.
Talaman.
Right?
Right. So I'm like, that's all I knew about. I didn't know his name. Talaman, right? And I was like, oh, hi, Tala. And he's like, oh, Portmarnock. I was like, yeah, that's so weird that you're in here, like. And I was like, what's your name? And he said, Bobby. I said, oh, I'm Aoife. Nice to meet you. Know your name, whatever. And then he went off with his friends. And then I was sitting at the bar with my mom, and I said to her, I said, I met that guy a couple of weeks ago. I can't believe he was after walking into a bar. Like, you know, I told the girls I was going to marry this fella. Anyhow, so
and your
weird,
mother was with you.
So I
I
turned
love
around
this.
again to chat to him after about an hour because we were talking to people at the bar, and he was gone.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, Jesus, like, what's the chances of us ever bumping into each other? Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I knew he lived in Astoria.
Okay.
Which I lived in
You
Astoria.
lived in Astoria, yeah.
But I was like, that's so random that I met him in a bar in Manhattan on the Upper East Side. Okay, so then, like, a few weeks later, I started working on a Sunday as a hostess in a bar called the Pig and Whistle on 3rd, 63rd.
Know it well, yeah.
And a girl started, I was working there a few weeks, and a girl came in and she was working on the roster with me, and it was her first day, and her name was Kim. And she's like, I live in Astoria and I'm from Tala. And I was like, no, hang on a second, Kim. Do you know a fella called Bobby? And
My
she was
future
like,
husband.
Yeah, he's like one of our mates. We're all out here together. And I was like, no way. I said, ask him, does he remember Aoife from Portmarnock? Now, I only worked with this girl once a week. So the following Sunday, she came in to me and she's like, oh, I said to Bobby, Aoife from Portmarnock. And he started singing Aoife and Bobby up a tree, Kissing.
Bobby did.
Yeah, and I was like, I said to her, what a weirdo. But I was like secretly inside going. Anyway, the jigs and the reels, I was working like 3 jobs at the time. I was working in 2 different restaurants, full time in the Irish Echo. Didn't see him till the April 10th.
Oh, wow.
Kim, we were all in watching a movie, me and the girls. We were like the 4 girls from Ireland, like the Sex and the City girls. And they all went out. And I was like, no, I'm tired. I've been working hard all week. And Kim texts me. She goes, we're the bar that I used to drink in that she thought I'd be in. She's like, we're across the road in another bar. And I was like, oh, I'm at home. Hang on, I'll be down in 10 minutes. So I freshened all up this. And went down, and literally the rest is history.
No way.
Yeah. So fate. I always think it's fate.
That is really interesting.
What happened when you walked into the bar? You cannot stop.
Well, we just started talking, and we had a little kiss then that night. Went our separate ways.
Did he say he'd fancied you too?
No, we didn't say.
Oh,
we
he was
fancied
Irish
each
lad.
other.
He's never going to say that.
Yeah. No, never. Like,
Never.
no, but it just literally like it just progressed from there. We literally started dating like a couple of days later. Yeah.
Oh, that's
that's
good.
our
And what age are
story.
you? You were.
I was 24.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a baby. Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
I
yeah.
know, it's a great story, isn't it?
So funny, quite similar, except probably a little bit faster in the sense that, okay, so I went to New York with a guy called John from Kerry, and it didn't necessarily work out, put it that way. It was great and all that for the first while, and it didn't work out. And John from Kerry took a bit of a shine to another friend of mine, and so long story short, one night he didn't come home, and he did what he did, and we broke up, obviously. And this was Christmas time, and it wasn't going great anyway. So it was kind of the icing on the cake, and it was hard. It was really hard, especially because he was a friend. But it was hard. But he did his thing, and I moved out. I moved out Christmas Eve, and I moved into a small little apartment in New York with my friend Norma. I dragged her along, and she was living with me as well. And we moved out. into this like godforsaken basement apartment
Yeah.
in Yonkers. So I was, for those who don't know, the Irish scene in New York, there's the Bronx,
There's a story
Queens.
in Queens. Sorry, not a story,
Yeah.
but like
One
Woodside
of the-
and
Woods-
Sunnyside in
yeah.
Queens.
So there's
and then
Queens and the
Yonkers
Bronx and
So I was
Yonkers.
the Queens and you were the Bronx.
And I was the Bronx / Yonkers, yeah, because they're right there beside each other. So moved out, and the girls were like, "Come on, it's Christmas Eve, we're going out." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm not feeling it now." Do you know, it's just self pity. And they were like, "Go, we're going." I don't even think I got dressed up. I went out to the pub, and whatever way I looked, we of course Irish bar again. This was Behan's. Whatever I looked, I said to the girls, "Jesus, who's your man there? He's kind of cute." And they were like, "Oh, that's John Mooney." You know, I was telling you, and he had dated some lovely girl that we all knew, whatever, and they'd broken up. And I was like, "Oh," so he came over chatting. That was great. And basically at 3 a.m. Christmas Eve, we'd moved bars to the Rambling House, and 3 a.m. Christmas Eve, we shared a kiss. So that was quite
Shared.
nice.
I like that you shared.
Well, he would say I jumped on him. I would definitely say that he made the first move. But anyway, that's always up for debate. But we had a bit of a schnog, and it was quite nice because it was Christmas and everything. But in the meantime, right, there's a big story here, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. So in the meantime, we got together, but it was casual, you know, up until about April time, actually. You know, we were having fun. I was
When
single
did you
for the
meet him?
first time.
December what?
December
2003?
2000. No, 2004.
Oh,
A year
okay.
after you.
And I met
Isn't that
Bobby
funny?
then, the April 2004.
Yeah, so we're very
Sorry,
similar
yeah.
ages and everything,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
was the following year, yeah.
January 2004.
So, and he just, and you know what's funny? I worked in the Irish Voice newspaper. I worked in a rest like yourself, had a couple of jobs, worked in the local restaurant. And it's a
just think
small
that's
community.
hilarious.
I'd never come across John. Like,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
funny, but I
yeah.
was with the other John. So it was meant to be, everything's meant to be. In the meantime, the other John and this other girl got together, and they got pregnant, and they had a little baby and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, I was delighted for them because I'd met the love of my life. But didn't we meet Christmas Eve when I was in the bar? I was with my new John.
Oh, yeah.
No,
A year
literally-
later, like?
No, this
Oh,
was the
sorry.
first night.
Oh, sorry,
Like,
sorry. the
As in
first-
24
yes.
hours later.
Okay.
We met up Christmas Eve.
Right.
And he rocked in with the girl, and he came right over, and he was kind of like, "Oh, who's your man?" And all that. So
Yeah.
I was delighted to show
Oh,
off my
sure, look, I've
Limerick
moved
John.
on.
This is the Kerry John.
I have moved on.
But-
yeah, I just moved counties.
Right, so they
Johns.
like, that was fine. Myself and John got, you know, moved on. We got engaged. A couple of years later, we had lovely holidays, a great time in New York, had the most fabulous time, and then we came home to get married. But in Ireland, you have to register 3 months in advance your wedding with the state in case it's a sham marriage. Of course, we were over in New York. We didn't clue of any of this, so we forgot or we didn't register. So a week before my wedding to John Mooney, we had to appear before Tralee District Court to make sure that it wasn't a sham marriage. So it was a formality, but the judge had to sign off on it that these two were actually
Yeah.
legit. So that was grand. John and myself, John came to Kerry for the first time. By the way, he did not meet my mother until the week before my wedding because Mom never
Stop.
came to New York and we
No
weren't
way,
home.
yeah.
So it was the very first time he met my mother. So after Tralee District Court, we went early in the morning, and whatever way I looked, I said to John Mooney, I said, I actually think that's ex-John and his girl, or
Yeah.
my friend
Yeah,
in
yeah,
front
yeah.
of us. And he went, couldn't be. And I went, oh no, it is. Would you believe we walked right in, they turned around, and actually the secretary that morning at the courthouse had said there's going to be another couple joining you that also didn't register in time.
Oh, no way.
The four of us had to appear before a judge in Tralee District
my
Court.
God.
Sitting there, I'm sitting between the two Johns, and then the other girl is the other side. And I just wanted to say to that judge, well, I went with him. He cheated on me with her, and now I'm married to him. Obviously, I didn't. But what
That
are
is-
the chances,
that,
lads?
that is unbelievable.
crazy?
That is
Isn't that crazy?
From
And
America to
from
like,
America to-
Tralee.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. So,
that's
I-
gas.
yeah,
But,
I
like,
don't
what about,
know.
like, okay,
and they've
like
had
the-
kids, and I'm sure they're happy. And thank God for that ex John, because I wouldn't have had the life in the new
Yes, I
John.
know.
But isn't it funny?
But I just think our lives are so hilariously like intertangled.
Yeah.
Like we both worked for the Irish Echo and the Irish Voice out in New York. We both
Yeah.
worked in restaurants. You worked in the Bronx. You were in the Bronx. I was in Queens. Both met our husbands in Irish bars in
I
New
know.
York,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
moved home.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And then
it's
moved
mental.
home with them and married them
Like,
and had
yeah,
lovely kids and
yeah.
the travel. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so
Soul
crazy.
sisters, girl. So listen, I think that probably wraps up the
Yeah.
season. What fun we've had, Aoife.
Oh, it's
It's
been amazing.
Oh, it really,
It really
has, yeah.
has.
So we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. And we do hope that you continue to share our
And
podcast.
rate the podcast. Give us 5 stars, please. Move us up in the charts.
And yeah, that is it. And thank you again to everyone in the team here, Rebecca and all the crew, for getting this up and off the ground. We did manifest this
We
for a
would
long
not
time.
be able to do it without Rebecca, in fairness.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
And Terry is just great at providing the snacks as well as like the audio and the visuals and all that. But I guess it's time to say we will see you in season 2.
Thank you.
Bye.